You got all this from one episode?
It's subtext, Steven. Allow me to explain.
The Comet is a very philosophical episode to end a very philosophical season. And if you've watched my video on the meta-narrative of the whole show, this makes sense, as Finn's reached a stage of his life where these philosophical questions start to become important for people. For example, we have Orgalorg talking about his open door philosophy, and while it's not really subtext, or even subtle, it serves to get the viewer in the mindset to better absorb the themes of the episode. And said themes permeate pretty much every piece of dialogue. So let's get started. That's right, this analysis has parts. Not just taking the whole video to analyze 3 sentences this time. We're going deep. We're going to start with Finn drifting alone through space. He panics for a bit, but then calms down and has some dialogue and a song that gives us a very interesting look into his character.
Okay, Finn. Time to make an appeal to greater forces.
First of all, it's a testament to Finn's never-give-up attitude that he's drifting alone through outer space and he's still confident that things will work out somehow. And lo and behold, Martin shows up to save the day, and to have some dialogue that directly contrasts with what we heard from Finn.
It's kind of fun, right? See, there's no reason or purpose, or what you said, universal intention. Look around, Finn. Empty crud. So empty.
I don't know, there's some stars and stuff.
You're squeezed so tight your bottom's gonna fall out. Put the phone down.
Put the phone down?
Yeah. Whoa!
Now, these conversations can be interpreted a number of ways. One such way is to look at it as a conversation between a believer and a non-believer. We have Finn, who has faith in a higher power, and Martin, who doesn't believe. But after watching the episode a few times, I think it might be a little bit more abstract than that. It's not so much that Finn believes in a higher power, but that he believes there is purpose to the universe. That his and everyone's actions have meaning, while Martin believes the universe is empty and meaningless. This illustrates the fundamental difference between these characters, showing that even if Martin wasn't just a terrible father, they probably wouldn't see eye to eye. Now you might be thinking, well, Finn and Martin did just kind of describe their philosophies directly to the audience, so it's not really subtext, is it? And if you did think that, I'm glad you're paying attention. But you're also wrong, because it's not just what you say that makes you who you are, it's what you do. So Finn and Martin watch Orgalorg eat the comet and have this little exchange.
Snaps! He ate the comet! I gotta stop him.
It's too late, buddy. It's out of our hands.
Scrog that! I'm gonna use these hands to sock him in the chops! In the chops!
Now, on the surface you just see Finn being brave and Martin being a coward. But there's a bit more to it than that. And to understand it, we're going to have to look at the character of Orgalorg a bit differently. Now, from an audience perspective, it's hard not to think about Orgalorg as just a big goofy alien voiced by Tom Kenny, but try to view him from the perspective of the characters, particularly from the perspective of Martin, who seems to know Orgalorg by reputation. Listen to exactly what Martin says here.
It's too late, buddy. It's out of our hands.
He's not afraid or even that upset. He just believes that what's happening is inevitable, that the events taking place are beyond his control. From his perspective, Orgalorg is just a force of nature, another part of this vast, empty universe he can't understand or influence. Finn, on the other hand, thinks differently. He believes that he can make a difference, that he can influence the universe with his own hands. So he leaps into the maw of this eldritch abomination with no plan of action whatsoever. Luckily, adversity he had faced in his recent past that he struggled to overcome at the time, but in the end have made him stronger than he was before, has left him equipped to deal with the problem at hand. So now we can move on to... So Finn's defeated Orgalorg and saved the day, but the episode isn't over yet. Now it's time for Finn to have a conversation with the comet he rescued.
I've been around forever and experienced so much impossible junk. I've embodied all that is good and evil, and now we're here. It's unprecedented, and I give you a choice. Come with me to the end, and the beginning, or struggle here a while like a beautiful autumn leaf.
Essentially, the comet is offering Finn immortality, but to attain that, he'd have to give up on his life as he knows it. As we've established, Finn believes that he can make a difference in the world, that his life, actions, and relationships are meaningful. So it's pretty easy to see why a sort of observational immortality wouldn't really appeal to him.
You're telling me to abandon all this stuff, but you're not really making it sound bad.
It's not bad. I'm just giving you the choice of a new mode of existence.
I feel like I put a lot of work into this meat reality. I'd like to see it through.
Fair enough.
Martin, on the other hand,
Hey, how about I get a new mode?
while Finn has things he doesn't want to leave behind, Martin has nothing to lose. Which brings us to the core of Martin's character, because he's not really evil, he just doesn't care about anything. So, it's important to note that this episode is more about Finn and Martin than it is about the Comet, or Orgalorg, or anybody else. It goes out of its way to highlight the differences between these two characters, not on a moral good versus bad level, but on a philosophical perspective level. But now the question is why? What is this episode saying? As I mentioned at the beginning, Season 6 is a very philosophical season, and over the course of the season we can see Finn start to build his own model for viewing the world, as well as establish his own values. The catalyst for this was meeting Martin at the beginning of the season, and not being able to understand why he would do the things he does. And in a way, it makes Martin the true antagonist of Season 6. Here, at the end of the season, we see how Finn has changed and matured. And while he doesn't agree with his father, he's able to understand him. Martin even says as much.
Well, there ain't no change in you, I guess.
Well, I'm glad we finally understand each other.
Over the course of the season, Finn has come to understand himself and learn to understand others. We even see the result of this growth in later episodes, like when Finn is able to properly apologize to Flame Princess. This has been an in-depth look at a very small step in Finn's journey toward becoming an adult. I hope this video has given you some interesting stuff to think about. And if you want to keep thinking about Adventure Time, then there are a few other videos on this channel that you might find interesting. And if you really like listening to people talk about Adventure Time, we've got a podcast where we talk about the latest episodes of shows we like. So, there you go. Thanks for watching.